So I frequently get asked whether coffee is actually good or bad for you. And it seems that people are either avid coffee drinkers and absolutely love coffee, or they absolutely hate coffee, or at least don't like what they think it does to their bodies. But let's take a look at what the evidence actually says and why it may differ so significantly for some people versus others. So welcome to my Balancing Nutrition channel. My name is Bonnie McGibbon and I am a registered dietitian and health coach, here to share nutrition facts and hacks with you all. So if you get any value out of my content, I would really love and appreciate if you could hit that like and subscribe button so that I can keep making these videos. Right, so I wanted to first start with some of the benefits that coffee has been shown to have on our overall health and disease risk. So caffeine in particular is an adenosine receptor antagonist. So what I mean by that is that it blocks adenosine, which is a chemical in the body that promotes sleep and suppresses arousal. So if this is blocked, it can lead to a cascade of events essentially that increase alertness and energy and motivation and focus and cognitive function, which is one of the many reasons why people love and gravitate towards coffee in the first place, due to the effects of the caffeine in it, right? But let's also remember that coffee is not the same or equivalent to caffeine. So it has caffeine in it, but there is more to it than just that. So coffee also contains fat and fiber, protein, and is a powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory agent. So believe it or not, having up to 3 to 4 cups of coffee a day has actually been shown to be beneficial for all of the following conditions that I'm about to share with you. So type 2 diabetes is one of those things. Coffee has been shown to improve insulin sensitivity by increasing the number of insulin receptors essentially in the cells, or by stimulating the release of hormones that help to regulate blood sugar levels. It has also been shown to be beneficial for depression. So caffeine has a well-known stimulating effect that can elevate mood and alertness, which you are probably well aware of. And on top of that, coffee might also influence brain chemicals like dopamine and serotonin, which play a role in mood regulation. Kidney health is another one of those things. So coffee has been shown to have a diuretic effect, which increases urine output, and in doing so, potentially helps the body get rid of toxins. Some studies also suggest that coffee may improve kidney function by reducing inflammation as well. Now, coffee has also been shown to be helpful for liver health and cancer risk. So coffee's antioxidants may help protect the liver cells from damage and inflammation. And some studies suggest that it may also influence enzymes involved in liver detoxification and potentially reduce the risk of certain liver cancers as a result. And the last one that I'm going to share today is that it has been shown to reduce the risk of mortality and all-cause mortality. Now, the reasons behind a potential association between moderate coffee consumption and lower mortality risk are still under investigation, but it could be, and it's likely to be, a combination of all of the previous benefits for various health conditions that I just mentioned. Now, where a lot of the conflicting information and results come in is to do with genetics and inter-individual variation. So the two key players in this game are the genes CYP1A2 and ADORA2A, and well, at least that's what I'm going to call them for simplicity's sake in this video. And the variations within these genes, called single nucleotide polymorphisms, or SNPs, can significantly impact how quickly you break down or metabolize your morning cup of coffee. So CYP1A2, for example, is the caffeine metabolizer. So this gene is responsible for producing an enzyme that breaks down caffeine in the liver. So people with certain SNPs in CYP1A2 have a more active or fast metabolizing enzyme, leading to quicker caffeine breakdown compared to someone who didn't have the SNP in that gene. So these individuals might feel the effects of coffee less intensely and for a shorter duration. But that also means that they may need more coffee to experience the desired effects. Now, ADORA2A, the caffeine receptor gene, this gene codes for adenosine A2A receptors, which caffeine binds to in the brain. So adenosine is a molecule that promotes relaxation and sleepiness, as I mentioned previously. And caffeine blocks these receptors, leading to those feelings of alertness and focus that we associate with our coffee. Variations in the ADORA2A can influence how strongly caffeine binds to these receptors. So people with certain SNPs might have a higher sensitivity to caffeine, and therefore experiencing a stronger buzz or even the jitters with even small amounts of coffee or smaller amounts. However, it is a very intricate mix, so the impact of these SNPs is not always as clear-cut or as straightforward. It's a combination of both genes and the different SNPs and variations in those genes, and other factors like age and health and overall caffeine intake. So someone with a fast metabolizing type 1A2 variant might still be sensitive to caffeine if they have a variant in ADORA2A gene that makes the receptors more susceptible to caffeine's effects. And conversely, someone with a slow metabolizing type 1A2 gene or variant could experience milder effects if their ADORA2A receptors have a lower affinity for caffeine. However, overall, studies have shown that the slow caffeine metabolizers have increased risks for the following things: so hypertension or high blood pressure, kidney disease, and risk of prediabetes when consuming over 3 cups of coffee a day. Slow metabolizers of caffeine also see less of a positive impact on exercise or exercise endurance and performance compared to fast metabolizers of caffeine. Now, in those with a certain SNP in the ADORA2A gene, they may experience anxiety as well as a result of consuming caffeinated coffee. So whilst caffeine may negatively impact those who are slow metabolizers, coffee is not a synonym for caffeine, as I mentioned at the start, and coffee has actually been shown to support brain function as well, immune system, and gut health, which are all in bidirectional communication with each other, on top of all those other benefits that I listed at the start if you're a fast metabolizer. Now, emerging evidence also suggests that the anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects of coffee are involved in the benefits seen in the gut. Now, in saying all of that, regardless of your genes, too much caffeine impairs sleep. So aiming for no more than 3 to 4 cups of coffee a day if it's caffeinated and not too close to bedtime is your best bet. Now, if you are sensitive to caffeine or you feel anxious when taking it, decaffeinated coffee is actually a really great alternative and option, as it still has the health benefits seen in normal coffee because of the antioxidants and anti-inflammatory agents. So you can still enjoy a decaffeinated cup of coffee and it will actually be beneficial for your health, even if you are a slow metabolizer of caffeine. So hopefully that gives you a little bit more clarity around whether coffee is bad for you or not. Coffee in itself is not bad by any means, but your genetics do determine how you react to the caffeine in it, and that ultimately plays a role in health outcomes and your risk of certain diseases and conditions. Now, unfortunately, for most people, getting a genetic test to see what SNPs and variants you have isn't really a viable or accessible option. So the best way to tell is just to notice how you feel, and you know your body best. So if you find that you are getting anxious and you get the jitters and it's not a nice feeling when you do have caffeinated coffee, then it's highly likely that you are a slower metabolizer. But if you enjoy coffee and you still want to have it, just know that having decaffeinated coffee is still going to be beneficial for your health. It's not a negative thing. It's not going to have a detrimental impact on you, and is still an option. And I'm sure this will come as good news to those of you who do love coffee and feel like you are a faster metabolizer, as now you know all of the other additional benefits that you can get from it. So that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. And please go ahead and like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you next time.